Okay, so we're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Google Hangout. This Hangout, we're going to be discussing best practices with Google Classroom, the differences between the mobile version versus the web-based, and also the Share to Classroom app or extension. First up is going to be Lillian Carey, and she's going to give us a little introduction. Okay, Lillian.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, hold on. Welcome to our broadcast. Google Classroom is a relatively new app. It debuted in August of 2014, so it's really just a toddler in terms of apps. But since its launch, it's had so many tweaks and added features due to teacher response and input that it's become very popular and used in schools throughout the nation. It's a learning platform that facilitates paperless workflow in that it ties together many of the apps in the Google Apps for Education suite and allows sharing and collaboration between teacher and students. It is really an online classroom where teachers can post and store their resources. Students can access these resources from any internet-connected device. Teachers can conduct online discussions. Flipping the classroom becomes easy and possible, where teachers can put their content, their tutorials in the classroom and even assess the students' progress in mastering it. Students have 24/7 access to their teacher and to their classmates. The teacher can monitor student progress on assignments and provide timely and meaningful feedback back to students. And if anyone ever used the Google Drive prior to Classroom and tried to share a document and have students return a copy to them, it was very tedious. You had to send the students the file, they had to make a copy, they had to rename it, and they had to send it back. Well, Google Classroom does all of that. What makes Google Classroom so powerful is its ease of use and that it's device agnostic. And now, making it even more accessible for students is that it's also in mobile form. So Dennis Petersak is going to speak to you a little bit about that aspect of Google Classroom.
Okay, so I put together this little presentation here to show you the differences between, well, some of the differences between the internet version and the app version. So basically the home page is a little bit different. All they did was on the internet version where everything's listed horizontally, the mobile version, everything's listed vertically. Now this is from my iPad, this screen here, and this is actually from the internet. You can actually see all the tabs up there. So I mean, there's not much different there. Posting options, you do get different options depending on which device you're using. So here's the internet posting options on this side here, and you get more options. You get to create a question, you get create assignment, create announcement, and here the only thing you're missing on the iPad app is the reuse the post. So you still have question, assignment, and announcement. Moving on, reviewing assignments is also a little bit different. On the internet version, I feel like it's more intuitive where everything's kind of laid out right there for you. You can see your instructions that you had posted in the student work, and all your students are listed right underneath. Where the iPad version, when you go to review work, you'll actually have to click where it says student work to actually bring up all those students and all their handouts, or I'm sorry, all their assignments that they posted. Now viewing that assignment is also different on the iPad or any other mobile device you're using. You will have to click on each individual student, and then I believe I have another picture of it right here. What you actually have to do on the iPad or the mobile device is you'll actually have to click on their attachment, and you will need Drive or Docs in order to view those attachments. If you don't have Drive or Docs downloaded on your mobile device, you will not be able to read all those attachments. You would be able to if they were attached as PDFs or Word, but keeping everything in Google actually makes it a little bit more simple, and you can actually make comments on people's assignments right from your mobile device. What I think is more important, though, with using the mobile devices is that you get this share button, Share to Classroom, on your mobile device. Now, this screenshot was taken from my cell phone, and I thought it was appropriate after the monster storm we just had. I was shopping for snowblowers, And you can see down here where when I click on share in the Chrome app on my phone, I can actually share it right to Classroom. So if there's something that I was viewing on the internet that I thought the kids, my students, would really benefit from, I can actually just share it right from my phone with this one little click right here. What you can also do within Google Classroom with your mobile device, when you're creating announcements or assignments on your cell phone or the iPad, you can see this is my cell phone, you can attach items from your drive, you can attach links from websites or wherever else, files you have stored on your phone, and you can even take a photo. So if you were actually out somewhere witnessing something happen that your kids could benefit from, you can actually snap a quick photo and post it right onto Classroom for your students. And then finally, I think the most important thing that Classroom on your mobile device would be used for is communication. Now, I've been absent the past couple of, a couple of days in the past couple of weeks because of illnesses in my family and whatever else, and I've been using Google Classroom for student plans. Instead of leaving a plan for my substitute, all I do is tell the substitute that the students have their plans on Google Classroom, and they can actually just go access the plans themselves, and they know exactly what to do. It makes it much easier for a substitute because all they have to do is tell the students, look, all your plans, all your stuff that you need to do is on Classroom, and the kids pretty much take care of themselves. But my students also know that they can post questions to me, and using Google Classroom on my cell phone or my iPad, I can get right back to them, even if I'm not in school. So I do have I have a question here which you can read and actually answer, and then I have also some resources. So we'll post this, this slideshow up on the Blackboard for everybody. And I believe next would be Danielle?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. So I just wanted to share with you guys, Dennis kind of touched base briefly about it, the Share to Classroom app that you can download. Really great extension. First thing, I just want to tell you quickly how to get the extension. You would just simply visit the web store, and once it loads, you can just type in Share to Classroom, and it'll come up. And I already have it on my computer. You can see the little icon there, but you would just hit Add to Chrome, and you'll see it pop up here on your little toolbar. What exactly is the Share to Classroom extension? Well, basically, it allows you to push out URLs and any kind of web pages to your classroom directly. You can also make announcements. You can create assignments. So it's still your classroom, but the great feature is that instead of always having to post links for kids or have them copy down websites, you're actually pushing the website or the link directly to your classroom. So there's no more, oh, you know, I couldn't get the link to work, I copied down the wrong website, I copied down the link. Now it actually opens up on demand as they log into their class, which is great because students also get the same web page at the exact same time. You know, it could be beneficial, say you're giving a test or something and they have to listen to an advertisement or whatever it is that they're listening to. Everybody is on the same page at the exact same time. I do want to say that in order for that aspect of Share to Classroom to work appropriately, the students also need to have the Share to Classroom extension app installed on their toolbar up here. You know, this was the question that I posted that you'll be able to answer on Blackboards. In what ways could Share to Classroom impact student learning? But I did want to give you an example of what it's like real time. So here's my website that I want to share with my kids. I would click on my Share to Classroom little extension, and I'm shared in on my personal email and not my school email, so obviously there's no list of classes. I could try to sign in, but who the heck knows? Nah, you know what? Let's not even do that. Easily enough, though. Can you guys still see me?
Sorry, we see your screen.
Oh yeah, okay. Easily enough, you would hit. Sorry, Dennis, keep taking over the screen there. You would choose whatever classroom it is that you want to, say like German 2H, German 3H. You would click on that classroom, and you could push out the URL directly to the classroom. And it's that simple. So let me stop sharing my screen here. And up next is Brianna, and she's going to talk to you a little bit more about best practices.
All right, so I just have a couple tips and tricks just from using Google Classroom on a daily basis to share with you guys. The first one, really quick, when you're setting up your classes, the About section here I find really important. It's a good place to kind of put your go-to items that the kids always want to be able to access. I have my syllabus there, I have my lab grading rubric, things like that, that the students can just always get to, and it's in one place, doesn't get kind of bogged up with your other things that you're posting on your stream. You also have the option to decide how students are going to participate in your class. So you can have students able to post and comment, which means they can create their own posts and comment on everything. You can make it so students can only comment, which is what I have in my classes, or that only the teacher can post or comment. When you are creating assignments or even announcements, anything like that, you have a couple of options for how you're going to attach files. Like Dennis showed you one of the Word documents that we've used. You can have students view files, they can edit files, or you can make a copy for each student. So the make a copy for each student is something that Lillian kind of touched on, where every student gets their own copy of it and it doesn't mess up your original file, which is really nice. I make templates in Docs for my students so that they know exactly where they kind of have to type in all of their answers, and I do make it so that they write in red. Just kind of keeps everything a little bit more organized for me, so I see exactly where they're typing versus things that I've typed. And to make these boxes, I just make a 1-by-1 table, and then they just type right in there. If you want to ask students a question, you have two options as to how you want them to kind of discuss things. You can let them see and reply to each other's answers, and if you do choose this, they can't see the other person's answers until they've answered themselves, which is nice. And then they can kind of have a conversation from there as to, what they think is important, if they agree with something, if they disagree with something, things like that. You also do have the option to let your students edit their answers if you want them to be able to go back and change what they wrote. That's up to you. Another little nifty thing is over here you have 3 dots on the side of each of your different assignments or announcements that you've posted, and you have this option for move to top. So if there's something important that you want to make sure is always at the top of your stream, you can continue to move that up there so that it's the first thing that students see when they do log in. When you're grading things, you can sort students. They just recently added this, that you can put them by last name, first name, or status, meaning whether it's done or not done. This is nice because it used to only be by first names, but all of our grade books are normally by last name, so you can change it to that option as well now. And you can have students write private comments, and you can write private comments to them about their assignment. I like to use this when students are turning things in late. I make them write a comment because then I get the notification that they did something. You don't get a notification when they complete an assignment, but this makes it so that they commented on something. That means they turned something in late, and that you can now go and grade it instead of just keep looking back to seeing when you're allowed to grade something and when it's finally done. And then lastly, you do have the option to export your grades. So you can copy all of your grades right into Google Sheets to help you put them into your gradebook. And then these are the 4 questions that we have come up with for you guys to have a discussion about on Blackboard, and we will post them there as well. So the first one is, what is the difference between Google Classroom and a CMS, course management system, like Blackboard? In what ways could shared classroom impact student learning? How do you currently use or see yourself using the app version of Classroom? And what type of posts do you see yourself using the most with your students? Assignments, announcements, or questions? And why do you think that?
All right, that was our hangout. I hope it was beneficial to you guys, and look forward to hearing your questions and comments on Blackboard. Thank you.